All right, so today we're going to look at adding and subtracting polynomials, and the good news is that we've pretty much already done this year. We just didn't call it this, okay? So when you add two polynomials together, all that you are going to do is you're going to combine your like terms, okay? Just like we did at the beginning of the year. So remember, to be like terms, they have to have exactly the same variable with exactly the same exponent. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is just look through here and find any that have the same exponent. Okay, and I want to kind of go in order from biggest to smallest exponent because we want our answer in standard form. And to be in standard form, the biggest exponents have to go first. So I'm going to start, this guy's the biggest exponent. So I'm starting with x to the fourth. So I'm looking, do I have any other x to the fourths? No. So first thing is I'm just going to copy down the 5x to the fourth. Right, and then I'm going to kind of cross that off just so that I know I've already dealt with it. All right, after 4 comes 3. So the next thing I'm going to look at is the x to the thirds. So I have a negative x to the third. And then over here, I've got a negative 8x to the third. And I'm just going to add those together. So remember, that's like 1 fire and then 8 more fires. So 9 fires, right? So I'm going to write minus 9x to the third. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of cross those out so I know I already dealt with them. All right, after x to the third, I look for x to the seconds, but there aren't any in this problem that have x to the second. So I'll skip over that one. So after that would just be a regular x. And I do have one of those, right? Plus 3x. That's the only one, so I'm just going to copy that down. And then I'll cross it out so that I know I've already dealt with it. And then last, anything that's just a regular number. So I've got a plus 1 and a minus 5. So 1 bucket of water, 5 fires, right? We can use that to put out one of our fires. So we'll have 4 fires left. So minus 4. And that's it. That's your answer. Okay, so this is not super difficult. We've really done this before this year. All right, so let's look at this one. So start with the highest exponent. So this guy has the highest exponent, and there are no other x squareds here. So I'm just going to copy that one down, and then I'll cross it out so I know I already dealt with it. All right, after x squared is going to come regular x's. So let's see, I've got a positive 2x, and then over here a plus 3x. So 2x plus 3x, that's positive 5x, so plus 5x. Okay, and then next would be just the regular numbers, which I've got a minus 3 and a minus 1. So 3 fires, 1 more fire, that's 4 fires. Okay. One reminder, notice how when I'm doing these, I'm always keeping the sign that's in front of it. I'm grouping that with the thing that, right, the sign that's in front of the number always stays with it. So make sure that you're careful about that when you're combining these like terms. All right, now subtracting polynomials is just as easy. There's just one extra step that you have to do at the beginning. So when you subtract polynomials, you first need to distribute the subtraction. And then once you've done that, you combine your like terms. Okay, so you start by distributing the subtraction, and then you do exactly the same thing that we did up top. All right, so what does that look like? So this first example, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this subtraction and I'm going to distribute it to everything in the second half. Okay, and all that's going to do is it's just going to change the signs of all of these guys. So this guy was a positive 3, so now I'm going to write negative 3x to the fifth. This was a positive 4, so now I'm going to write negative 4 or minus 4. This was a minus 3, so now I'm going to make it a positive 3 or a plus 3. Okay, so that was my first step, was I just distributed the negative, and all that happened is anything that was positive became negative, and anything that was negative became positive. All right, and now we're going to do this just like we did the problem up top. So starting with the highest exponent, right? And when I do this, now that I've done this distributing, I'm going to ignore these guys, and I'm going to use these ones instead. Okay, so let's go ahead and find our highest exponent. So the highest exponent's the 5. So this guy and this guy. and you're just going to combine your like terms, just add like normal. So I've got a positive 6 and a negative 3. So 6 minus 3, that's 3x to the 5th. Okay. All right, next one. After 5 would come 4. Do I have any exponents of 4? No. This has a 4 in front as a coefficient, but remember we're focusing on the exponents. Okay, so there's no 4, so let's go to 3s. So here's a negative 3x to the third, and then over here, I've got a negative 4x to the third. So 3 fires, 4 more fires, that's 7 fires. Okay, so that's going to be negative 7x to the third. All right, after that, we'd look at any x squareds, which I don't have any. So then just regular x's, which I do have one of those, right? This negative or positive 2x, and that's the only one, right? So I'm just going to copy it down. No other terms with x's. All right, and then our last one here, I've got a negative 4 and a positive 3. So 4 fires, 3 buckets of water. That's going to work out to 1 fire left over. And that's it. That's our answer. All right, let's do one more of those. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to distribute this negative to everything in the second set of parentheses. And all I'm going to do is change the signs. So this guy, remember, this is not the sign in front of here. That is a positive 6. So it's going to become a negative 6x to the fourth. And that's a minus 3x to the third. It's going to become a positive or a plus 3x to the third. Okay, and now we're done with this stuff. We're going to ignore it and just combine our like terms. So the highest exponent that I have is this 6x to the fourth, or negative 6x to the fourth, excuse me. So I'm just going to copy that one down. There's no like terms with it. All right, after that, I've got x to the third, right? Here's a 4x to the third and then a plus 3x to the third. So that's going to be plus 7x to the third. And then finally, I've just got this one left over plus 2. So plus 2, there we go. And that's it. That's my answer. Okay, so adding and subtracting, not super difficult. Something we've done before. We just called it combining like terms before.